Nano Banana just made it possible to create incredible images in seconds that used to take designers hours to do. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build anything with Nano Banana and n8n. I'm going to show you how you can scrape hundreds of leads, get email addresses for those leads, and then create a unique image from Nano Banana for all of those people. And I'm also going to show you how you can create an AI app to automate the process of anything in your social media pipeline so you can get more customers and completely crush it. And one of the coolest hacks from Nano Banana is its ability to incorporate logos into images and even recreate thumbnails, which I'll get to in this video. But we're going to start this whole thing off in the beautiful, wonderful n8n, which is our no-code platform of choice. Now, how does this thing actually work? Well, I'm going to show you two different examples. I'm going to show you how you can get an image, ask it to do something on that image, and then create something new. And then I'm going to show you how you can then actually automate the process of getting hundreds of leads and then creating unique images for all of them. So let's go through exactly what this one looks like, first of all. So the first thing we want to do is submit this to run through. That's the best way to explain this. So let me come down here and show you what I mean. So we execute on phone submission. We're going to give it information. So n8n, going to give it an image. And what this is going to do is you feed it a logo, you feed it the name of that business. And then what this will do is take that image, then incorporate it into a pre-existing thing that we've already determined. And again, just think about it like this. In this flow here, you can give it any image and then give it any custom command around that image and it will automate it for you. One of the cool things about doing it this way is the fact that you won't get the watermark and the price is around 10 cents per generation. Now, let me explain to you exactly what's happening and then how you can automate this for hundreds in the image to image. So first thing that's happening here is we're taking the image and we're throwing it onto image BB. Now, what image BB does effectively is host that image. So we upload any image you want to, and it will then live on this website when that loads up for us in the background. The next thing that's happening here, guys, is we're calling the Nano Banana API, and we're doing that with this service here, which is Kia API. All you're going to do is create an account. You'll get free credits, so you don't actually physically need to pay to get started. I found the generation cost is around 10 cents per generation, which is really, really cheap for this. And all you do is you come over here, you're going to log in to your account and you're going to grab an API key from this platform. And if you'd like to get your API key from Image BB, you scroll down to the bottom, click on API, and then you'll be able to see here, you can literally copy that and then enter it into the workflow. And obviously in the workflow here, it's just coming down here and you can enter the value in that. You're ready to go. And then with Nano Banana, it's the exact same thing. What I've done here is actually hard coded in the prompt to generate this thing, which you can do if you want the same kind of style for everything. You can do various different things like add in AI agents to make it more complicated, but I just want to show you the power of doing it and how you can leverage it. So I've got a prompt here, which is a hyper-realistic image of a phone on a desk with notifications. I've dynamically populated the brand so we can have that incorporated in the image. And then I've specified 4K, 16:9 resolution, output as an image. Beautiful. We come down and then it's ready to go. Then what happens, guys, is we have this beautiful circle, this cycle, where effectively we're calling the API to say, hey, is it ready? And if it's not ready, we physically want to go ahead and download it. So what this guy here was going to do is query it. It's looking for, is it successful or not? Now, the state is the thing we're looking after here, which is not to be generated, but to be completed. And when it's completed, it will progress downwards. And at any time during the entire process, we can actually come over here to the API, which I'll pull up very quickly. By coming onto kia.ai/market, you can actually see logs on the left-hand side. And you can see here, for example, this one is running. This one down here failed because I didn't have balance. But you can see it's basically running and how many credits it consumes. So you can check in at any time everything that has happened. And if you want to check out the result of something that you made, like this one, for example, you can do that and it will usually just show you on screen. But my internet's a little bit fudgy at the moment because it decided not to come and rock and roll with us today. So that's effectively what's happening. Now, this will keep going till it's complete, and it has literally just completed, and then we'll get the result here. So what I'm now doing here is grabbing it and uploading it to my Google Drive so that I can physically store that whenever I want to. So if I come over to my Google Drive now, we can see that it has created this beautiful image for us here, which is combining n8n with our specific prompt. How freaking cool is this, guys? So look, new lead n8n, new lead n8n, and it's kind of blurred things out. So maybe we'd want to change that, but how freaking crazy is this? It's actually got their logo perfectly. It's got that. So say, for example, you wanted to work with a client and you want to show what kind of leads. You imagine getting a custom image that looks like this. It's freaking crazy. This is another example that you can do with notifications are actually popping out. This example didn't have the brand name, but the concept that I want to leave you with here is brand logo. There's nothing more special than the brand logo plus the name name is incredible, and we can do amazing things with that. So that's what the flow does. But let's just say, well, this is cool, Jack, but what if I wanted to actually leverage this cool Nano banana thing to generate like leads and customers, right? How would I actually go and do this? Well, you can use a system like this. So what I'm going to show you here is, here's the idea, is we're going to get a Airtable, and I prefer Airtable because you can actually host the images in it as like raw files, and that's really important to bear in mind. What I want to do is find leads in your niche, okay? And then once I've got those leads, I want to scrape them to get information about the company. So I want hundreds of them and lots of information. Then what we're going to do, the next plan is to enrich that data. So we get email addresses for all of them. So we're going to have hundreds of leads, thousands of leads, loads of email addresses. Once we've gotten those two things, I then want AI to generate like a custom prompt for every single one of those customers. And then once we've gotten that, I then want to run the whole scenario together to create a unique image for every single one of them. But what's the first step? Well, the first step is deciding what is the image that we actually want to share. We know from data that if you send a genuinely believable personalized email over a non-personalized one, your response rate usually doubles. And there's little hacks and stuff around that, but that's the bottom line. So the first step in this process is to do what I call a JSON prompt. What I mean by that is if you head over to Google, I want you to find and think of the concept that you want to do. So for example, a good one is a cereal bowl with a logo in it, right? With their name in it. Like, this is what you're thinking about over breakfast, or we eat your competition for breakfast. So if you had some kind of like angle based on the service that you're targeting, you could do something like that. But let's just say, for example, we had, I don't know, if I just say Nano banana examples, okay, let's just say you're looking for inspiration for this. What you can probably do is find an image. So let's just say that we had a really cool example here, which I'm not finding any on here right now. Okay, weirdly enough, guys, I go onto x.com and I find it like instantaneously. So this one is really cool, but let's just say that we want something like this, right? Which is somebody eating noodles, something funny, and with their logo on the hat. And maybe like our campaign is, hey, just saw a friend eating noodles with your cap on, or something like that. I mean, this is just an example, right? I'm just trying to show you like the art of what's possible and how this is so cool. So what we would then do is head over to ChatGPT. So the idea is that you got to pick something specific to a niche. So now I would say something like, hey, I would like you to reverse engineer and create a JSON prompt based on this image. So the only information that I will provide to it is going to be the text that will go onto the cap. Okay, something really simple like that. We paste this one in real quick. Oh, let me just come back and make sure I copy the image. So again, this could be something funny, something eye-catching, like, maybe if you're doing real estate, she was eating like cereal with houses on it. You can imagine like it's just something eye-catching that no one is sending. And this is the cool thing, because I always ask the question, this tech is awesome, but so what? Like, apart from the cool things we can do, obviously, but like I like to think about how can I do this with my lead gen to make things really exciting. So we've now got this beautiful JSON prompt here, which is very, very cool. All right, sweet. So we've got down this here. Beautiful. So this is very, very, very cool. All right. But what we need to do is now we've got the JSON prompt broken down. So I've just told it to turn this into text with the only variables being like the text itself. So this is a really great way. We can get this all here. So now we've got a beautiful prompt. And again, JSON prompts are exceptional for things like GPTs, where if you want to get a reliable result and give this as a front-end app, which we're going to build later, it's perfect. So you ready? So we copy this here. Beautiful. Now we've got this prompt. We're going to save that to one side. Now, the next thing we want to do is go and get the leads. So let's go and do this together right now and do some scraping, because I'm in a very scrapey mood. You're going to head over to appify.com, which is the Willy Wonka's emporium for scraping. So let me log into this account over here. Right. Now, first thing I want to do is head over to this scraper here. So I'm going to go and use the leads finder. You can do this by coming on the left-hand side to actors. And again, actually best to go on to the Appify store, and then you can just type in leads finder. There's many different scrapers, all of the pluses and minuses. Obviously, since the Apollo thing, these haven't been like as premium as some of the other ones, but you can still get some great results with these. So we're going to come down here and use this guy right here. Beautiful. And then let's just say that the niche we're going after, and I'm just going to fetch something like 10 leads, but obviously you can do significantly more. This is just for the purposes of the video. You can do job title. You can specify by locations to include and exclude. So we want the UK to make sure that's included. You can do it by city if you're doing something geographically based. So if you're doing a campaign for people in Leeds, then that's something that you would really emphasize in there, like, hey, dude, we're just working with Leeds based, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Email status, we want that to be validated. Company website, we don't need that in. Then you've got keywords, which you can enter for the industries and targets that you're going. So if you're going after coaches, you may say coach, you may say high ticket, you may say blah, 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 whatever the thing is, okay? and then we'll call it to ready and rock and roll. Then all we're going to do is to save and start. And again, we will just let this run and get loads and just get quite a few beautiful leads. So this is going to run for us in the background. And then what we're going to have off the back of this, guys, is a beautiful list of lots of businesses with further information. So not only are we going to get the URLs, we're going to get things like LinkedIn profiles. We're going to get lots of cool stuff. Cool. So we have some phenomenal things here. So if I just come down here, this is a UK dentist, allegedly. We open it up and see what we think. Cool. Welcome to the dental start. More reasons to smile. Cool. So then what we'll do is we're going to come over here. We are going to go down and export all this data. Export data set. Yes, sir. We'll do that as a CSV. Okay. And then click on download. Sweet. Fantastic. Right. Now, the next thing we want to do is enrich the emails. Now, allegedly, it's got all the emails here, which is fine. And to be fair with you, actually, it does have the emails. But if you found a list that didn't really have the emails, the go-to one to use is this. You'll find this based on the scraper that you're using. Like if you're doing Google Maps scraping, if you're doing scraping on LinkedIn or whatever it might be, you're basically going to do that. And what you can actually come down here is to bulk search. You upload the list, and then you can just select the thing that you need. So person name searcher, this is great if you want emails for specific people and your file has names and the company. So that'd be like, I know his name is John and I know he works at Microsoft. How do I find him? So you basically upload your CSV, and then you can see it's identified here, the last name and also the company name, and you can use that to enrich. But since we've got that information, the next thing that I want to do now is basically use that. So if you actually check on Apify, for instance, one of the things that we've gotten from the scraper, which is really cool, we've got the headline, which is great, but we should also have a little bit of a company description, which is really sweet. So this explains a little bit about them and their information and the company, what they do. So I want to use that to basically create some kind of personalized image for them using this Nano Banana, Google's beautiful Nano Banana API. And by the way, the cost of this cost me 22 cents and I got 100 leads, which is not bad for 22 cents, right? So what do we do then? We are then going to head over to, we're going to use Airtable for this, which is fine. So let me come over and create a brand new Airtable. And again, you don't need to, you can technically just use Google Sheets. The only reason I'm using Airtable is because I just want the images linked up to the data entries. So let's come over to and create a brand new table real quick. Beautiful. And let's open up a new one. We'll call build an app on your own. That's fantastic. And we should be able just to simply import some cool stuff. So there should be an option for that on the left-hand side. So import data from a CSV and other. I'm going to go on local files and browse the files. I've just selected the thing we downloaded and we just upload this file. And I think good automation for your business and for clients is about knowing which platforms to use when. So this is really cool. Guys, I am a sucker for the design and I love it when I get this multicolority in it. So we're just going to throw everything into the whole database for us. And give that a hot second and it should just appear magically. We need to give it a cool name. And since today is Tuesday, why don't we call this one Tuesday Banana? Okay, beautiful. All right, and give, of course, it is nothing without its beautiful emoji. And of course, it needs to be yellow. All right, sweet. So now you'll notice a couple of things that we've got here, okay? We have the first name, surname, emails. We have company name, loads of really cool data and information you can use then to test and validate, which I recommend that you keep track of actually, because one of the things that you're going to want to do when you're running these email campaigns and your outreach campaigns, which I recommend that you do on different platforms, is that you want to see like what are the commonalities with the guys that are giving the positive response rates. Obviously, you need to understand things like the problems and solutions, but that's content for a different video. I want to focus on the image generation for this one. And bear in mind, guys, we've got stuff in here like the company address, and it's insane the amount of detail we've got here. Okay, so I've got a lot of data here. I'm going to delete these 17 fields as you wish, but obviously this would be up for thousands. It's very, very, very cool. Now for this, basically what we need to do is add two different fields. So one is going to be the prompt. So we're going to call this one image prompt. Okay, beautiful. Now, instead of long text, we're going to find a field agent. Let me just figure out how we get into this guy. I think it is down here. So now we've got image prompt. I'm going to add in a beautiful emoji because we are nothing without our beautiful emojis. Fantastic. And then we want to come down here and convert it into a field agent. But let me just copy this just in case it boots us out real quick. So what we can do with this now, guys, is bring in that custom prompt that we got from ChatGPT earlier. So let's come here and grab this here. And the prompt is really quite straightforward, actually. So what we basically want to say here, guys, is I would like you to take the below company name. And what we can do in company name, which is going to be, let's find here, insert field, and let's find company name, right? Beautiful. Okay. And then we want to say something like, and create a unique and interesting image prompt about using the blur template and based on the info about the company. And then we will just simply insert that, which is going to be, I think the field we've got for this, guys, is about company. Let's have a quick look. Let me just make sure. Just save this and have a quick look. What do we save that information as? It is under company description. Okay, cool. So come down here. Let's have a quick look and edit this guy. Come down here on the company description, insert field, company description. Beautiful. I'm going to say amend this prompt. Cool. And then I'm going to come over to the prompt we got from ChatGPT, which is right here. Fantastic. Actually, what we probably need to do, guys, is be specific about this as well. So we probably say whatever text that you provide in the below prompt, it must be something that would fit on the cap and must include the company's logo. But the text around that can be unique based on the description. Okay, beautiful. Then we click on save. Now, one of the things you'll notice in Airtable is that you can click this run agent and it will do it for us. So if I click run agent, for example, this will then float around the background and it has done that for us. And you can see has it got the name for that particular brand in there? I think it does. Innovating insurance for medical professionals on the treasury door behind us, blah, 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 blah. Lots of cool stuff, which is very cool. Now, in Airtable, you can actually add an automation that basically means that anytime I add a new row, this will then trigger the agent automatically. So you can come down here. And again, this has now changed it for that specific thing, but the image prompt is consistent. Now, you don't actually have to use the same one for everyone. You can give AI latitude to think of something creative. But this is a cool strategy of how you can actually force it to create the same kind of thing, but then actually only specify and change out different things. So to test this one out, what I'm actually going to do, guys, is zoom out a little bit. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to delete everything apart from one row. Cool. And now we've done that, what we need to do then is come back over to our beautiful n8n scenario. Now, the way that this one's work, and let me just unpin this. I don't know why I've got the click unpinned, and let me undo this guy real quick. I'm going to unpin all this information and then we can run through this one together. Beautiful. Let me come back over to n8n. Now, the way this scenario is going to work is once you've uploaded everything, you've got your loads of different leads, we're going to click on search records. So if we click on search records, I need to obviously change what this one is. So instead of personalized images, we call this one banana, I think, didn't we? Banana something, which was Tuesday banana. Fantastic. And then we pick the table, which is just going to be the importer table, which is fine. And you can execute the step and it will bring down that one record for us on the right-hand side, which when I refresh and come over here, you can see we've got Tom, we've got the image prompt to get all the values, which is code for really coolness. So we're then going to connect these ones together. And then we've got our prompt here, which we're going to come down here and literally copy this prompt over here. And the reason I've done that, by the way, guys, is because prompt in the API call is under the word prompt, but you might yourself name something different in the Airtable. So it just makes sense to have a kind of intermediate thing. Then Nano is going to head and create this. We're going to download it, and then we're going to get the basically file, and then we can actually upload it to the exact same thing. So let's actually put this to the test and run this one through real quick. Beautiful. So when we run a scenario, we're going to download the records from Airtable so we can see all of the information there. We've got our prompt. All this is doing, like I say, is just taking the thing we've got here and just kind of like actually setting it as something so it's going to be consistent. And once that whole process connects, guys, you can actually click on this now and see. So if I double click into this and I click on view, I should actually see a woman eating noodles with it. Look at this, guys. Oh my gosh. All Med Pro, innovating insurance for medical professionals. Again, this is just a random thing we found online, right? And you can see they've got some things nice, there's some nice details in the background. You can create these scenes to be anything. But if you're doing a campaign on, say, something like, I don't know, maybe noodles was a joke. Maybe noodles was something that the owner said that they liked. Do you know what I mean? It's really, or like, let's say I love Springer Spaniels, for example. So if somebody sent me like a Springer Spaniel wearing a hat with my name on it, or that, it's like, it really does create this unique thing. So if this is saying All Med Pro, if we actually go back now and check, you can see Tom at All Med. This is crazy. All Med Pro, they've completely grabbed that and created a completely bespoke and unique image. Then let's come back over to our beautiful scenario. Click on this guy. And then if I come down here to image, this is the one that you want. Basically, you have to add some extra things around it just to make sure that it's ready and happy for Airtable. So if I come back and just run this one more time just to show what that looks like, okay, generated, waiting, it'll download it, and then we should see that fully updated. Actually, one thing I need to do before I do this, my apologies, is come down here. I need to make sure we're on the right thing. So we're not on this one. We need to go to Nano Banana Tuesday. Because I really want to make sure that you can see the full-fledged how this works. Let me just come down and get the image. And then let's just refresh this whole thing real quick, which you can do by clicking the arrows and click on refresh column list. And then this will now update with the new beautiful table. So then the way this all connects then to the Airtable, guys, once you come down here, you connect it based on the ID for the first Airtable. And then at the bottom, you're going to add in this specific code, which basically means it will upload to the image, just like it did over here for the one that I did earlier. And then when you click on that, you can see it actually connects it. This one was an example of a bowl of cereal with their name on it. And then it will upload it, and then you can simply grab that, insert it into email campaigns, and kick some serious butt. So that's how we can create hundreds now. And obviously, that will just run for us automatically down the entire list, creating all these unlimited images for us, for our clients. The next thing that we're going to look at now is social media, because the technology is just one thing, but how we then leverage and use that to generate something incredible is completely different. So what we're going to do now is we are going to head over to AI Studio, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to build an app with Nano Banana. Now, here's the plan. Now, I'm going to show you something that's absolutely crazy before I do this. And this is going to blow your mind. I showed you earlier on this Canva document here how you can actually get yourself and put yourself in these images of anything you want to. But what I've found is when you're using Nano Banana is that sometimes it takes 4 or 5 different responses. But what I want to do is create an app that lets us one-shot killer that can take account of what we're trying to do. We can give an image. It will analyze this particular image and put us in there. And one thing, guys, that it is amazing at is facial expressions. The fact that it can give you any facial expression and still keep the essence of what it is that you look like. That is so freaking crazy to me. So let's actually go ahead and see if we can build this app together on Google AI Studio. So let's come over here, bring this one up, and let's have a quick look at what we're doing. So we can actually see that we've got supercharge your apps with AI. I'm going to click on a Nano Banana powered app, which is very cool. Okay. And I'm going to say the following. I would like you to create me a YouTube thumbnail creator. By the way, guys, this could be done for YouTube. It could be done for Instagram. I can even show you examples of people with millions of followers on Instagram that are creating these bespoke graphics using Nano Banana that are crushing it. So insert this for any platform that you're focusing on. Okay. I'm going to give you an image. And what I want you to do is then take that image and analyze it and give a really specific prompt. And then I'm going to give you a second image of me. And I want you to basically enable me to insert into that image and then edit it in the actual app in Studio, make the design visually engaging and beautiful. Fantastic. Okay. Now, what's really cool here is that we can actually build out a full YouTube thumbnail system in this application, which is insane, guys. The reason why that's insane is because, when it comes to YouTube, we know that 80% of it is the idea and then the packaging of that idea. And thumbnails is something people have often struggled with. So there's no need for you to reinvent the hook. You don't need to reinvent what a good thumbnail is. One website that I heavily recommend that you check out if you haven't already is n8n.com. It's really, really good. If you're interested in YouTube, I recommend it. And even if you're doing Instagram and not YouTube, I would say this is relevant for you because it's the same techniques, just different platform. And you can see based on the outliers. And that's effectively what you're doing. You're finding things that have already worked because this YouTube video here, for example, 20,000 views, it's 9.3 times higher than that average, which means that for some reason, something about this video really, really resonated with the audience. And like this one here from my guy, Brock, this one here from my man, Daniel Priestley, you can see there's something about this topic that people want. And so you pre-validate. When we had Dan Martell inside the community doing a masterclass, he's now, 3 million or whatever it is, he was talking about this idea that they don't do videos until they're pre-validated. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm doing a video on Nano Banana, apart from the fact my community said, hey, Jack, this is really cool, could you talk about it? Is it's also validated and people really want to learn about how to rock this. So look, this is going to generate for us in the background. I've done a full video, by the way, breaking down what I really genuinely consider to be the best workflow with Nano Banana and creating incredible applications. I'll put a link on screen somewhere so you can click that button and have a great time. Now, the way that this works, it's going to do things, it's going to actually pop up with suggestions to see how we want to improve it as we go, video understanding, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, I just want to create an app that's going to make me more efficient as a creator, and it's perfect. So we've got the background image now. I think it hasn't quite understood the thing. Just to be clear, I'm going to upload an image of a viral thumbnail, and I basically want you to take the second image of me and place me in the thumbnail, maintaining the expression and everything else about that. Then I would like the ability to chat with that image to improve its quality. All right, cool. So let's just give it that last little bit update, send that one off, and then we've created this Thumb Studio AI, okay, which is going to be very, very cool. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to fit in together, because most of Nano Banana stuff that I've done has either been via API, the direct chat window. I've not built it with an inbuilt thing before. We've done loads of videos on the channel about bolt.new and Lovable and how you connect those to things like n8n and make.com, because you connect it via webhooks. Now, given the fact this is all part of Google's ecosphere, it's very, very interesting to me, because I'm very curious to see how this is going to flex in together. So we'll let it complete this, and then we can actually see how it performs. Okay, guys, so allegedly this is done. So let's come and do this together. So we've got the best future videos. So why don't we try and replicate this one here from Daniel Priestley? So what I'm going to do is open this in a new tab. I'm going to grab the URLs. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to move to this website here, which is YouTube download thumbnails, where I can literally enter in the URL of a video that I think is really cool. I get a really cool image. I am going to save this image real quick. Beautiful. And let's come back over to our cool app, and then let's upload the composition asset, the background image. Let's click on this one. Okay, good. That one's uploaded. Now let's upload the image of me and see if it can actually do that properly. So let's come down and add a subject. Beautiful. It's got both. I'm going to say, hey, put me in the image above with the same facial expression. Okay. Hit enter, and let's just see if it does this. Because this works natively, guys. Not a single requirement to actually faff around with the webhook integration. It's just going to work natively. You can see how you can package this. We are officially in the era of creating these incredible SaaSes. But for me, from my point of view, Teddy AI, our agency, it's great to be able to build these sorts of things for clients. Obviously, oh my goodness, guys, look at that. That's freaking crazy. It's literally added me into the image, which I think is insane. And it's just literally bought me in, no questions asked. And guys, just to show how cool this is, I want to show an example I did earlier. So this is one that I had, like, again, like I've never, ever, ever pulled that face expression ever, right? How freaking crazy is that? And I just gave it this reference image, and you could tell it's the same thing because it's got that t-shirt on, and it did it for me instantaneously. Then the way we would build on this is and help it solve things like titles, video ideation, and you can build out a full YouTube agent. And you can do the same thing for Instagram. And you can combine that with the first automation that I shared with you on n8n and how you get the automated thing and create brilliant and beautiful images for everything. Now, knowing how to leverage Nano Banana in these scenarios is one thing, but the next thing we need to do is be able to build out fully custom AI apps that crush it, which you can learn by watching this video right here.